Well, I'm lucky enough to be the lead official in the project. I'm an advisor, I'm a school advisor and I'm a team leader, but one of my jobs this year, the last 3 years, has been to lead this project.
Well, I'm the head of schools in Lindesbergs kommun, and one of our schools were in this project. So together with the 2 headmasters, I was involved as the head of them. I think they are measuring or survey results much more than we do, and especially from London. And we have to do it in the future, I guess, too. But that's a big difference. They are more controlled than we are. Another difference is that in Lancashire they have an organization to support the headmasters and teachers to be better. In Örebro län and in our community in Lindesberg we don't have that, but we need it. So that's what we in Lindesberg try to do now. I have seen a lot of good things, but I can feel a bit hesitant about all the rules and the strictness in the school.
Well, we've all learned loads. There's so much to learn and to continue to learn in the future. What I learned most is that 2 things are the most important things. One is the importance of great teaching in inspiring children, in working with children, in helping children achieve the very best, both academically and socially, and getting on with each other, integrating. And the great teacher is one who can bring out the best for all children, helping children work together and achieve their best. I think I've learned that different styles of teaching at different times is the best way. There's not a prescribed method, not a prescribed this is the way we do it. You change and adapt your teaching according to need, according to subject, according to the time of day, the time of year. That is backed up by great leadership and management. I think we are very lucky to have visited schools here in Sweden which have really charismatic head teachers, ladies, gentlemen, who work with children, with staff, and all the children seem to know who those people are. And I would say that is the same back in England. Great head teachers are those who have an empathy for the school, have an empathy for the catchment area, for the children, for the parents, the communities, and know their community well and want what's best for them and strive endlessly to achieve that. And again, different leaders come in different shapes, sizes and forms. You use different leadership styles according to different situations. But what I suppose is at the heart of it is great levels of energy, commitment, dedication. And that's the same whether it be in Sweden or in England.
What I think I take from this project is about relationships. And when I went to the schools in Sweden, it was about the priority that you put on health and the work that you're doing on standards as well. So what I'm taking back to work with in my new role as a school advisor is there has to be a focus on standards, but it's also on about the well-being of the children. So you've got to take that into account when you're doing work with the schools, and it's about developing that consistency so the children are all doing well academically and reaching the right standards, but you must also keep that focus on how the children feel, their well-being and what's good for them. So I would like to see more of the links you've got with health, so that you can look at why a child isn't learning, not just on the academic side, but also take into account that social side. But there's got to be a no excuses culture when it comes to standards.
Most of all, I would like to take their ability of judging progress, which means that they are able to see the progress of each and every child and to see every child's right to be able to have progress, not necessarily children at the bottom of the league table, but also the children at the top of the league table.
From this project I will take how the headmaster or head teachers in England work. They are more visible in the classrooms and together with the teachers than I think we are in Sweden, and they spend much more time to talk about the issues in school instead of administrations. They have another organization about that. In England, I think they have more support around the head teachers than we have in Sweden. That's a big thing to take to our country and to my community. As a result of my experience in this project, we have now employed a developer, a school developer in our community. It's a headmaster who shall now support the other headmasters to develop our results.
That all of us have our day job as well as this, and this project has had to fit in with other aspects of our work. And sometimes that work takes priority over this project, and sometimes that's had to influence what we can and we can't do. I think this project's been going on for 3-4 years now, since we originally started it. We started the idea of how does an official, a region of schools, officers of those schools, help schools to work together to form partnerships. How do we help one school to work with another to develop that school? I think the economic climate has changed since then, perhaps the political climate as well, whereby perhaps there isn't the funding that there was once in education a few years ago, and that has obviously limited the potential of this project. I think that as we go into the forward into the future, less money in education at the authority level will mean that our work will have to be even more carefully prioritised, and that will carry into the future. I think the education system, the education kind of landscape is such that schools, and rightly so, are in charge of their own destiny, in charge of their own kind of direction, and the autonomy is now in the school kind of jurisdiction rather than perhaps an authority working with schools or directing schools. It is now schools and we're working alongside them. That causes a change in the original idea behind the project. And I know that is the same in Sweden as in Lancashire. Our next steps will be to continue to work together. My colleagues in schools want the project to continue. They want the idea of perhaps more at a teacher level, teachers joining together perhaps on a common theme, so exploring one issue or two issues which we both face in our education systems. It might be a subject, it might be a group of children, and working out what works well, and maybe the children themselves further down the line being able to kind of correspond over the internet or by Facebook or by multimedia means, and that might also inspire and motivate children to learn further.